Hello, welcome to Furry Frequencies, the most trusted name in furry drama. I am your host, Lifty, along with Sharky
What's up?
and Silox.
Hey, how's it going?
So yeah, we've got a hodgepodge of an episode here for you guys today. So the big news in furry Twitter has been Texas Furry Fiesta, which happened this weekend. Unfortunately, none of us actually went because, yeah, we're all poor. We're furries.
Yeah.
We can't afford to just go to Texas for
we're not in
furry
IT.
bullshit.
We don't make that IT money. So
No, we don't. We don't. Well, I'm going to try to make that money soon.
Oh,
so.
look at you flexing on us like that. Okay.
I'm going to try. I'm trying, okay?
I will shank you for $20.
I'm a CDS major now, so I will try my hardest, damn it.
Did you say you're a CVS major? Does that mean you
CDS.
You work at CVS?
Computational and data science.
Oh, fuck.
That's
okay.
where the big money is because
Oh,
nobody
I
else
thought
does
you
it.
said You're a
The
CVS?
big money.
Like, I was
Big
like,
money.
Cough medicine or something.
Speaking of big money, and Texas Furry Fiesta had 4,844 attendees this year.
Nice.
Big boy numbers.
Yeah, big boy numbers. And they raised $29,429.02 for Care Rescue of Texas. So
That's a lot.
congratulations. Yeah, that's some very big money.
When people say furries don't do shit, that we're lazy. I mean, we give so much money to different charities and different causes, and I think it's just so amazing that we are able to come together and do stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
hats off,
absolutely.
really.
Yeah.
There's just one good thing I gotta say about furries. It's just the fact that we actually will spend all the money we legitly have on someone else.
Oh, yeah. The
That's
furry
true.
community, yeah, is
That's true.
very generous and is very charitable, and they definitely will open their hearts out to those in need.
Unlike bronies, but yeah, we
Hey,
are.
hey, shut up. I
What?
heard that.
I didn't say a single thing.
Nah, I
You
didn't
said
hear
unlike
anything.
bronies. I'm like,
see,
uh-huh.
You
I
can't
don't
prove
hear anything
that.
about
That's
those
called
stupid
fake news,
bronies.
bro.
What are you talking about?
No, we had one person at last year's BronyCon. He submitted a framed image or a frame of 60 cards that were signed. Every single one of them was signed by a voice actor, a voice actress, and such. He went like to
The
so
Terrace
many. He went to so many conventions over the past 3 years to collect all those signatures, and he put it up to charity in 2018.
Nice.
And when it went on the auction block, it got up to $5,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that one item got got up to $5,000,
money.
and the guy who donated it actually got in a bidding war with someone else, and that's what raised the price up to where it was, and he actually won. He won the bid.
Wait,
And he
so the
lost all
guy
that
who
money.
donated it won the bid.
The guy who donated it won what he donated back. So he basically
What
just
the
gave
fuck?
them $5,000 just to flex on everyone.
Why not just give them $5,000? What?
Because he wanted to flex.
He wants to show
He
that he's
wanted
got
to
big boy
flex.
money.
Yo, this
He-
generation is fucking stupid. I swear to God.
No, I thought that was great. Because, I mean, first of all, you get to flex on stage when you do something like
Says
that.
shit.
But also, hold on a
Flex
minute.
on
Hold
a
on a
bunch of
minute.
Pony fuckers, you know.
Hold on a minute.
Jesus.
Hold on a minute.
Oh my lord.
I am still involved in this convention for one more year, goddammit.
Oh,
And this is my bread and butter you're talking about.
I'm just
Bread and
astounded.
butter involves pony fuckers?
No.
They don't fuck ponies. That's not a. That's
Yeah,
not
we don't
fair.
fuck ponies.
That's not fair.
Oh, you're right. You get fucked by the ponies. Gotcha.
Okay.
Shut up.
You're so mean.
So, back to Texas Furry Fiesta. Among the over 4,000 attendees that went to Texas Furry Fiesta, there was some very big news regarding one particular attendee because he looked quite a bit like someone called Post Malone.
Yeah. I don't know who Post Malone is, but apparently from Google, it tells me that he is a rapper. I've never
He's
heard
an
of Post
artist.
Malone. Apparently he's super popular. Apparently a lookalike showed up at Texas Furry Fiesta and took some pictures with a couple of furries.
Yeah, he
So,
stole the stage at Texas
yes.
Furry Fiesta this weekend.
That'd be pretty
Yes.
damn cool if Post Malone was an actual furry. Post Malone, if you're listening to this podcast, you're welcome at any time to come out on.
God.
Yeah, let's talk about people we suspect are furries, but they never came out to
Barack
being
Obama.
furry.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh no, I was gonna say Daniel Radcliffe. Did you see this one video
Daniel Radcliffe.
No. Did you see this one video that went around Twitter where he's just monologuing about wolves, and he's surrounded by all these
yes,
animated
yes, I
wolves
remember this.
that
Yeah,
are
I know
talking
what
to
you're
him,
talking
and they're
about, yeah.
anthropomorphic at one scene. Yeah, I will share that with all of our listeners on Twitter later on. So yeah,
Like,
just
I remember that shit. Yeah, he was like, yeah, if these wolves talked and walked like people, I'd be pretty fucking cool with that.
yeah. And I'm telling you, I think he's a furry. I think he would love the furry community.
Now,
I'm
is he into
suspecting.
Yif?
This
That's
is my
another
headcanon right here. I think that Daniel Radcliffe does have a fursona and does have a fursuit, and he goes to furry conventions incognito in the suit, and he never takes off the suit. Never. He never
cool.
shows
What?
himself. He never shows his face at these conventions.
I
This
mean,
is a
I've
weird
heard
fan
of quite a
fiction.
few famous people actually doing that as conventions, like cosplaying and shit like that.
Yeah, but I
They
mean,
would
I think
go and meet these like everyone, and no one would be none the wiser.
yeah, but I mean, you would never suspect that Daniel Radcliffe was at a furry convention, even though you always see this one wolf fursuiter always at that convention, always at this convention, always at every single convention. He never shows his face. You never know what he looks like. All you know is that he's like, he's his persona. That's it. He's probably Howley the gray wolf or whatever.
You've
And
thought
all
about
you
it.
know is
Man,
Howley is
room
here.
party.
Howley is there.
He has thought
Howley
about
is at
this
every party.
a lot.
He is like rocking the fursuit every day. He has an incredible stench of him every time you hug him.
He's thought about this.
He is like dripping in sweat. But he never, ever, ever takes off his head. Because he never wants anybody to know that Daniel Radcliffe is at a furry convention. I'm telling you, I think that's Daniel Radcliffe.
This is the weirdest fan fiction I've ever heard.
Shut
I'll put it
up.
out there. This
If
is
I
so
ever go
weird.
to a room party at a con and I just fucking like see Daniel Radcliffe in there like fucking doing like beer pong or something,
Uh-huh.
I have literally no idea how I'm going to react. I'm either going to shit myself and run up to him, or I'm going to try to drink him under the table.
I will shit myself and then try to get a photo.
I'm also curious how much he can drink.
I am
he
too.
looks like a lightweight, you know?
No, to me, he doesn't.
He looks like he would take 2 shots and be like, I'm fucking ready to fight someone.
Nah. I'm pretty sure he's a drinker.
You think so?
I think so. I think so.
I mean, there could be like a video out there of him drinking like fucking shot that shot that could prove me wrong, but
He's been to parties.
it doesn't mean he drank.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he drinks.
Here's another little segue we can get into just to keep the times a rolling. Biker furs.
Yes.
For those
Furries who
don't
love
know-
to ride motorcycles.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, because I don't expect any of you guys to know, because I haven't even fucking told anyone yet, I finally got my motorcycle's license, so now
Hell
I can
yes.
legally ride bikes around the street.
And I've had my motorcycle license for at least 10 years.
But you ended up wasting it on a Vespa.
Shut up!
That's embarrassing.
No, stop you. Stop. I did not waste it. I had a great time.
On a Vespa.
I got a motorcycle license and I got what I wanted. Okay.
On a Vespa, though.
Yes, a
A
Vespa.
little Vespa.
I mean, why'd you get a Vespa?
Because I've always had a dream to own a Vespa. Actually, do we have time for like a little flashback?
We have plenty of time.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
good.
All right. All right. Well, I'll tell you why I was so obsessed with getting a Vespa. So, back in 1999 or so, Target had.
You're old.
Oh, shut up! Stop interrupting my story here. Anyway, back in around 1999 or so, Target ran a promotion for a bunch of Italian cookware that they were just starting to sell. I think their brand was Bialetti. And to promote the Bialetti brand, they decided they're going to give away a Vespa. And not only that, they had the Vespa that you would win at every store right there on display in front of the doors. And me back then, I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God. Wow. I was in love at first sight when I first saw it. And this was like 10-year-old me. Of course, I couldn't win it because I'm not old enough. But I was telling my parents to go to every single Target in the state and just flood the box with their entries. And I was just so excited to win that. I wanted to win that so badly. And of course I didn't win. And it kind of crushed my spirits to not win it because it was a little bit soul crushing to just see that Vespa every time you go into a Target. And then one day you don't see it. And I'm like, that Vespa is not in my fucking driveway. It's in some other bullshitter's driveway, damn it.
See, most kids, they dream about having sport bikes, dirt bikes, Harleys. No. You wanted to stand out. You wanted a fucking Vespa.
Well, I'll explain.
Of all things you could have, you wanted a scooter.
No. I can explain that. See, our neighbors were douchebags. And not just any douchebags. They were redneck douchebags. So their kids were allowed to ride motorbikes and four-wheelers down the road at top speed. And
Which is
all
illegal,
this,
by the way.
yeah, this is all illegal. And of course, they always drew the ire of my parents and practically everybody else that lived in the neighborhood. So that kind of really just left a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to motorcycles because it always just reminded me of them and their bullshit and their douchebaggery. And not only that, their riding also tore up the roadway, which means that we had to dodge through potholes every time we had to go in and out of a house. So, yeah. So, I mean, that and also, I take that back. Back then, I was like, I had a bias towards European everything. Like, I had this really stupid bias where I thought everything European was higher quality and such. And I never saw a Vespa before, ever. So for me to see something like that, it's like seeing an alien. And I'm just entranced by it. And learning about it and knowing that it's Italian, it just adds to the allure of it. I just wanted it more and more until I just started obsessing over it. Now, flash forward to about 2009, and that's also back when I was living in Duluth. And back then I was working as a janitor for a grandma saloon. And anytime I'd have to clean the bathrooms, they'd have an ad for a Vespa dealership in Duluth that closed down. And I always looked at that Vespa and I was like, God damn it, I want to be on that Vespa. It just brought back all those feelings that I had from back when I was going to that Target and seeing that Vespa right in the front. Did you just fart?
What?
Did you just fart?
What?
I did
Oh
not
my God.
fart.
No.
I have been
I heard
silent
it.
this
I
whole
heard it.
time.
Nobody farted.
You heard it, dealt it, obviously.
Yeah.
So
You
anyway,
can smell it through your computer
Continue, please.
screen. Obviously, you did it yourself.
it just brought back all those warm and fuzzy feelings and memories and lust for a Vespa all over again. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to work myself towards getting a Vespa. And it wasn't. Now, I actually technically did get a Vespa, even though it's actually a Piaggio and it's plastic bodied, so it's not actually a Vespa. But I still had fun. I still had fun on that scooter. That was my first kind of pseudo Vespa experience, and I had a blast riding that thing everywhere in Duluth. I mean, I was riding it while I was doing the Census Bureau, man, and I was making bank on all the money I was getting on mileage because that scooter just took like a little over a gallon and a half of fuel, and they still paid me 54 cents a mile. So if I'm racking up like 300 miles, damn, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was probably one of those kids that was those redneck neighbors. When I
Yeah.
grew up, it was all about ATVs, off-wheelers, good old time.
Mhm.
But we wouldn't ride in the street
That's dangerous.
because we
Yeah.
didn't want to get hit by an 18-wheeler flying down the road.
Yeah.
And also, I grew up a lot of that time was over in farmland and stuff like that. So we already had enough room, like, out in the middle of fields to where we didn't actually have to ride on the roads.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. Dirt bikes and four-wheelers, they're great if you have a lot of land that you can ride them on. But if you're riding them on a street that everybody else has to drive on them and county's not going to pave them or anything, that doesn't give you the right to just tear up the road just for your enjoyment.
I don't think people understand that.
No, they had a huge sense of entitlement. They had no regard for anybody else that lived there.
Anyway, let's get into another story for Biker First. Recently, me and Lifty and Silex and the such, we went all down to Old Glory Harley Davidson here in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good time.
It was.
And
Yep.
so I was like, hey, Lifty, let's go for some test rides. And I showed, Lifty some bikes and the such, like the Iron 883s, Street 500s, all the works.
Mm-hmm.
So Lifty signed off the paperwork to go test ride the Street 500. I'm excited for him. Hector, who was the sales guy and one of my buddies there, he's excited for him. We're all a little hyped up, ready to go. He gets on the bike. He knows shit, stalls that shit twice.
God damn it.
Oh yeah, we're talking
That's
about
terrible.
that, Lifty.
That's terrible.
But here's the funny thing. He didn't stall it like he just slowly let out the clutch too fast. No, he dumped that clutch. Twice.
Stop!
That's bad.
Dumped it. And literally me and Hector were just looking at each other, just trying not to laugh. And then it was literally not even 5 minutes afterwards that I signed off the paperwork to go test ride it. I'm rolling out of the parking lot looking like a badass.
God damn it.
That's right. I'm fanning my ego.
I wish I could have seen all that. Well, I did get to see him right out the parking lot like a badass.
Yeah, you
but I
did
not
get to see me ride off on that
yeah.
Iron 883, which is a lot of fun. If you guys
Mhm.
ever get a chance to test ride any of these Harleys, I would highly recommend it. Unless you guys already ride baggers or something, then, I
Yeah.
don't know, fuck you.
Now, the Street 500, I gotta say, that is a very, very sharp looking bike.
Oh, it's a good looking bike. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. I mean, some
And it
people
is-
will be like, it's too new aged, but I like it. Because,
Yeah.
we're
And
new
it-
age riders.
And it is a great starter bike for those of you who are just getting to starting on riding. Price-wise, it's gonna leave you with some sticker shock. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It's a Harley, so it's not gonna be cheap.
But it's going to
But
come with good quality.
oh yeah,
It's
totally.
worth it.
It's good all-American quality.
Like I definitely would recommend the Street 500 for someone who isn't going to be riding on highways.
Mm.
It is definitely like an in-city, in-town bike.
Yeah.
Because when I was riding the Street 500, once it gets up to speed, it just has like no torque. It does not go very quick on the throttle.
Mm.
And plus you get like a second delay when you're up at higher speeds.
Yeah.
It wasn't very fun at higher speeds. I mean, it will get up there. Don't get me wrong. That shit will move if you let it. But I definitely wouldn't recommend it for highway driving. You definitely need something with a little bit more power, at least for a Harley standpoint. But yeah, I'd say it was a lot of fun.
Okay, tell me the truth. Hector
What?
didn't want to put me on any more bikes.
No, he really didn't. It was mostly because you haven't ridden a manual bike in like what 10 years.
Yeah.
It was all
Last time I
manuals.
rode a manual bike was when I was going through my MSF course in Minnesota.
And times have changed since then.
No, I mean manuals haven't changed. They
Not
still
the
work the same
manual, I
way.
just mean the bikes.
Yeah.
You rode on the old school Rebel 250
Yes.
back when it was air cooled. It was a parallel twin.
Yeah.
It had a rear drum brake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys understand like that old school stuff. If you guys do, leave it down in the comments if you guys ever drove it or anything, or shoot us.
And it had dents and scratches galore from students young and old from
It was a
yesterday.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is what you have to expect when you're taking an MSF course is, when you use their bikes, and I highly recommend you use their bikes. Don't use your own. Use their bikes because they will let you dent and scratch and drop their bikes as much as they want or as much as you want. And it doesn't matter.
As much as you need to. They don't want you to drop it. But if you're going to drop it, at least drop it on those kind of bikes instead of your own fancy machines.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, I could not see myself buying a Street 500 right off the bat after doing an MSF course. I mean,
I don't see why you wouldn't. It's
Well,
a good bike.
it is a good bike. It is a good bike, but it's a Harley Davidson, and I feel self-conscious about getting it, like either dropping it or scratching it, or God forbid getting in an accident with it, because it's a Harley, and it's gonna, if anybody knows what a Harley Davidson is, everybody knows what a Harley Davidson is, but
I would hope so.
yeah, but I mean, the cost to get into a Harley is pretty steep compared to, say, a Kawasaki or a Honda or Suzuki.
Yeah, you are right about that. But Harley has always been pretty expensive because they put a lot of pride and quality into their work. And
Yeah.
and almost all of it is all American made.
Mhm.
So a lot of the pricing comes in just from importing
Yeah.
the necessary materials to build it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know about the recent tariffs. Well, they're not recent at all, but yeah. The tariffs that went in like how long ago?
Last year, because I know that they've been affecting Harley, if I recall correctly.
Oh, they affected Harley greatly. They actually had to shut down one of their factories. And that ended up laying off like thousands of employees. Because Harley just couldn't afford it. It wasn't economically viable.
Yeah. Well, what's even worse about Harley is that they are also going through some financial straits right now. People aren't buying Harleys anymore, and they're
Which is
still
Be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. It's millennials. They're killing Harley Davidson.
It's because a lot of people see Harleys as old men big burly beards and not wearing proper riding gear.
Old white men with big burly
A
beards.
lot of people see Harleys as midlife crisis vehicles.
Nah, I see it more as the outlaw image.
Well, that's not bad.
That's what I think they see it more as.
Meanwhile, millennials, they don't want a Harley. You know what they want?
cafe racers.
A Tesla.
No. They want a Vespa. They want a Vespa.
They want
Millennials
Vespas,
want a Vespa.
cafe racers, old school looking things. No idea why, but that's what they
Okay.
want.
Nothing wrong with
sport
cafe
bikes.
races.
I just want to clarify this. Lifty claims that he's seen Vespas in DC. There are no Vespas in DC.
They are everywhere in DC.
No, they're not. I've been to DC a lot. They're not in DC.
I've
I don't
never
know what
seen
he's
a
talking
Vespa in
about.
DC.
You need to
I think you
be.
get shanked if you went in there with a Vespa.
Are you up by like 8th Street or where are you seeing this? shit?
Around Massachusetts Avenue.
Oh, well, there you go.
What?
That makes
Millennial
sense.
Center?
What do you mean?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's where your kind hangs out, you millennial cunt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you go through Massachusetts Avenue or K Street, you will
Oh,
see
boy.
them all over the place.
Oh, I'm sure, but
Oh, actually, better yet, go through Adams Morgan. You will see them everywhere in Adams Morgan.
Again, I'm not surprised given where Adams Morgan is. I'm not surprised.
I'm not sure
What?
I'm gonna go there now.
You don't. It's Yuppie Central. You don't want to go.
You know what? I'm gonna roll up there in
JK,
like
I don't mind Yuppie.
a
Yuppies
big
are cool.
Harley. I'm gonna roll up there with like a low rider with straight pipes and just
Okay.
blare that shit with hard
No,
RPMs.
no, you'll get it. Don't do that.
I do that. I do that.
Who wouldn't do that? That'd be
I
funny,
love
though.
triggering them.
Shit, that'd be funny.
I love making some loud noise in a big truck, in a big American truck.
You
See,
are
my
pushing
company,
signals
we have
so hard right now.
no. See, my company that I work with, we have an old Ford truck that has a very bad muffler. And I just love going to all these like yuppie central parts of DC and just rolling by in this really old, loud truck that has a very bad muffler, and it's all the windows are down and they're blaring Rush Limbaugh, and everybody turns and scowls at me.
That must be funny to see.
What? Who does that?
I want to see that shit now.
I do that just to trigger them.
You need
You know,
help.
we should.
I
rent
know
some
who
bikes
lives there.
just
I
to
know
roll
who's
up
there.
that.
And I love to just see their scowls.
It's so easy to just piss them off, and it's
Yeah,
so
it
funny.
is. And what's so funny is you can totally piss them off in a Harley because
Very
you can't. They can't touch you because a Harley that gets like 40, 50 miles per gallon.
A Harley?
Yeah,
No, you get like 40 something, maybe 50 something miles at a gallon.
that's what I said.
You said like
You said
14.
40 to. Yeah.
I said 40 to 50.
Oh, I thought you said 14.
No.
My bad.
Absolutely not. No.
But yeah, you could get great gas mileage because it's only a V-twin. It's only two
Yeah.
cylinders.
And then you get 40 to 50 miles per gallon on a Harley, and you can be as loud as you want, and they'll just scowl at you because, all they got is their stupid Prius to be smug
Oh,
about
God,
the
Prius
environment
drivers
with.
Scare me. No shit. I feel like when people get a Prius, they have to sign a contract to be like, if you see a motorcyclist, you gotta try and hit them.
Oh.
I don't
That
know
is-
if you guys have
Conversation
ever
is
had
great.
that problem, but every time
No.
there's a Prius driver, they're like, you see anyone else on the road, you have to try to kill him. Every time there's a crash or anything, it always involves a fucking Prius driver.
So this is why I want to just kind of let out a PSA. Safety on the road goes two ways. Motorcyclists have to be safe, of course, and they do try to be safe. They try to wear all the gear all the time, and they try to be very visible, and they try to take up as much space as they can on the lane. And they also try to, drive safely and try not to do any tricks or whatever on public roads and such.
Most riders.
But that also means that drivers that drive vehicles, they also need to be more alert and aware that motorcyclists are sharing the road with you. They need to be
80%
able
of
to-
crashes involving motorcycles are usually caused by the other driver.
Oh yeah.
Actually, are caused, not usually caused. They are caused by the other driver.
Yeah.
It's because people, when they, it was a special word we used in motorcycle school and such like that. It's like inattentive blindness or whatever the fuck it's called. Basically, it means they can look at you, but they don't see you.
Yep.
Like, if you're riding down the road and you see someone look at you, it doesn't mean they actually see you. They could be looking at the vehicle right behind you. Because they don't teach this shit in driving school, which fucking annoys the fuck out of me. Because I don't know, like, if when you guys went through driving school, that if they taught you to look out for motorcyclists or not, but they never brought it up once.
They did.
Oh no, they never brought it up to me.
For mine, they did. But
And like once you start looking for motorcyclists, you start seeing them everywhere.
well, they're everywhere down here. At least.
No, they're
You
everywhere.
definitely notice them if you're a motorcyclist that drives a car. You will definitely notice them.
And you're also a lot safer driver if you're a motorcyclist driving a car, because you know what to look for and you become a lot more aware of your surroundings.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, when I was in driving school, they never brought it up once to look for motorcyclists, which is fucking annoying. Because what people look for is a car when they're looking in their mirrors or looking over doing their head checks and stuff. They're not looking for a person on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And like I've literally seen this happen is where people will look over to change lanes while there's a motorcyclist right next to them. They'll turn their head and do a head check, but they won't see the motorcyclist. Like they'll look at him, but they won't see him. And they'll just turn right into him. Like change lanes just straight and side scrape these motorcyclists.
And like I said, it goes two ways. And I wouldn't say that motorcyclists are better drivers, because sometimes motorcyclists can be very bad motorcyclists.
Yeah, there are some horrible people that should not ever be on a bike.
Yeah, like all these people that are on the beltway that don't sit in traffic when there's traffic. They just speed down the middle of the lane at like 100 miles per hour. Yeah, you're asking for a death wish there.
Like I'm personally all for and supportive of lane splitting where it is legal. And if you can, if there's ever a law or bill being put in place for lane splitting to be legalized, I'm all for it. Because to tell you the truth, lane filtering and lane splitting is a lot safer for the motorcycle rider. But if you fly down the middle lanes at 100 miles an hour, well, that's just blatant, like, you're just asking for trouble at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you're lane splitting, maybe going 5, at most 10 miles like an hour faster than the traffic around you at low speeds, I mean, that's perfectly fine in my opinion. But if you fly down the middle of the lane and you get hit, that's completely your fault.
Oh, yeah.
Because there is a thing motorcyclists do have, and that's just straight personal responsibility. Like, you gotta, like, you can't blame everything on the car rider. Well, yeah, there's a lot of shit that other drivers do that can get you in a crash. There's a lot of shit you can do beforehand to avoid those situations. Granted, it's like you can still do them and still get hit, but yeah, take some personal responsibility. But if it ends up not being your fault at all, say a Prius driver comes over, sees you, and he's like, my contract says I have to kill you. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, then it's not your fault. Also, wear your fucking gear. Hell's sake. The amount of squids I see flying down the road, for those of you who don't know motorcycle terminology, we call those who don't wear proper riding gear squids. Because that's what they look like once they get into a crash. Because asphalt and pavement at high speeds, it's like sandpaper.
Is this a good time to talk about my my ass scar?
Oh, I say go on ahead. That's a good story.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead. So, back when I was living in Duluth and I was riding my scooter down Duluth streets, This was back when I was riding my Piaggio scooter, the one that I loved to death because it was so reliable and it was so much fun and it was so fast. I decided to take a corner a little too sharply. And so what happened was that I went too far down and the scooter just kind of scraped and I just scraped off the scooter. The scooter just skidded onto the curb and I was down. I was down on the street. And back then I was wearing a leather jacket with some leather riding chaps, big black leather boots, and
Assless
helmet.
chaps.
Yeah, they were assless chaps.
Oh my
A
god.
policeman helped me to get back up on my feet. He helped get my scooter back up on its wheels, and the scooter actually ended up being in good shape. Well, decent shape. It did get
It was
quite a
Vespa. You
bunch
can't
of...
get good shape at all in general.
Shut up. It got a bit of road rash, but it was in fine mechanical shape. Anyway, he gave me a ride back home, but when I got home, I noticed that there was a very large part of my pants that were ripped, and then when I took off the pants, there was a huge gash, like a really huge gash on my ass cheek, my left ass cheek. And I also noticed that that gash was on the part of my ass that the chaps did not cover. If you look at my chaps today, you cannot tell where the accident happened because the chaps were really that durable. They protected my legs from the riding injury, but they didn't do anything for my ass. So now I've got a huge patch of splotchy skin that's discolored on my ass, and that's where I had my first riding accident.
Dumbass.
Dude,
Shut up.
what the fuck?
Well, it's not like people are going to stop me and say, "Hey, can I see your ass?"
I
I
mean,
would.
there are some people who will do that.
Well,
Okay,
they're gross.
everyone, if you see Lifty at a convention, remember to ask if we see his ass.
No.
He'll enjoy it. Just go up to him, straight to him, and be like, pull
I
down your
will
pants.
fucking laugh if anybody does that. You know what? Here's the thing. If you do that, I will give you $50.
I
No
will
questions asked.
straight up, I will do something. I don't know what the fuck I'll do. I'll do something. If you go up to Lifty and be like, can I see your ass?
Okay.
Like, don't even announce
Okay,
yourself or
Silox,
say
you're
hi or
on.
anything.
If
Just
anybody
walk
comes
up
up
to
to
him.
me at a convention and says, "Can I see your ass?"
So I have
I'll
to-
take them. I'll take them to someplace private, and I'll pull down my pants and show them the ass cheek.
Okay.
And then I want you to give me $50.
I was gonna give them $50.
So you want
but
$50
okay.
to show
You got
off
what?
your ass.
I was gonna give them $50, not you.
What?
Oh, so
No!
Yeah,
so
that's
Lifty,
no
you
money.
want to be a stripper then?
No.
You're here, folks.
There's
Lifty
great
wants to
money
be a
in that.
stripper.
There's great money in being a stripper.
Just put money in his pants and he'll drop it for you.
Disregard
down for it.
what
You can
Silox
hire
just said.
him for bachelorette parties. I'm sure.
I'm
he'd like
not
to do
going to. No, I am not going to debase myself like this. Can we get back on topic, please?
Yeah, we'll get back on topic.
Oh,
We're just picking on you. Relax.
Okay.
But yeah. I don't know what else really to say about bikes and stuff. If you yourself are a furry and you're a biker or anything like that, I'd love to get in contact with you, to be honest. See if we can put like a giant biker ride on. Just a huge furry biker ride. I think that'd be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, at like a convention where we get every biker furry we know, and we all take a ride up to the convention in our bikes. That would be pretty badass.
Yeah, that totally
Pretty
will be.
damn dope.
Can I bring my Vespa?
No.
No,
God
no
damn it.
Vespa.
No
Why do
Vespas.
you people hate Vespas?
It's a gay
It's because it's not a Grom.
Fucking Grom.
Get a
No,
Grom.
no, no, no. No, this is
Get a
bullshit right
Grom.
here. A fucking Grom has less power than a Vespa, and you are shitting on me for having a Vespa.
It's because it's not a bike. It's not a
It
real
is a
bike.
bike.
Get good, son.
It may have two wheels, but it's not a true bike.
No, it is considered by the state to be a motorcycle. It is required by the state to
I
be
mean-
registered and licensed as a motorcycle. So fuck
The
you.
state's stupid though.
Hey, you said it, not me. No.
Get a Grom. Let's all get
No.
Groms. Let's go for a giant Grom ride.
No, fuck that.
Why?
If I want to spend my money, I want to spend my money on a Honda Shadow.
Yeah, you did talk about that. You wanted to do some test rides or whatever. the fuck.
Yeah, I want to do more test rides, yes.
If anyone's out there that has ridden a Honda Shadow, tell Lifty about it. Because I have no fucking idea about it. I only saw like statistics about it.
Oh, actually, I've been talking with some other furries about Honda bikes, and they tell me that the Honda Shadow, the 750s, are solid bikes.
Well,
They
I'm sure
have
are,
legendary reliability. They have killer good looks.
but they're shaft driven.
I know, but they will run forever. They can run through the apocalypse. They are definitely one of those bikes that if you take care of them, they will take care of you. I know you hear that for automobiles, and it's almost a meme at this point, but it's true for a lot of cars and a lot of bikes. And Honda, you have legendary reliability, legendary engineering. On top of that, you have cheap part prices. So you can ride a Honda Shadow for like almost nothing.
Is Honda Japanese or Chinese?
Japanese.
It's Japanese. Okay.
Yeah, to my knowledge, there are no Chinese manufacturers.
No,
that
there's a
have
few.
Oh,
entered
there are.
into
There
the-
are.
No, what I was saying is, to my knowledge, there are no Chinese manufacturers that have entered into the United States automobile or motorcycle market. I could be wrong.
Oh, they have.
Oh, there
They
are
have.
a few.
There are many Chinese motorcycle manufacturers. A lot of them are fly-by-night operations that just kind of pop up in the summer and go away once the summer's over. And those things you should really just stay away from, because those things are very much likely to be just a 2-month bike, and suddenly you've got a very heavy paperweight on your hands.
To be honest, though, people are talking shit about Japanese bikes when we got on the market. Chinese bikes are actually not that bad. I know
I
I'm
will
gonna get a lot
never-
of shit for this,
No, I will never touch a Chinese bike. Fuck those things.
I don't
but
think I
the
touch
last
Chinese
time
anything,
I drove
honestly.
a Chinese bike, which of course was at a closed course. We're talking legally here, of course. It rode good. It did what it was supposed to do. I mean, it's not the best bike in the world, but it did its job.
I do not care. I am not touching.
You know, people
Oh.
said the same shit when Japanese bikes came to the market.
I know, but they've definitely improved.
They're
And
just as good as they were back then.
No,
it's a
they
lot
are
better
far
now,
better.
but they're
They are
also
far
really good
better
back
now.
then as well.
they are far better now. They are more respectable bikes than Chinese bikes. Chinese bikes, you have the quality control on Chinese bikes is unbelievable. You would have parts that are that basically exist from Coke cans or that are.
I don't know what company
You
you're
have
getting your
clutches.
Chinese
You have
bikes from,
clutches
but
that
damn.
will wear out after 100 miles. The
What
the
company
quality
are we
control
talking
is
about here, because that does not sound like a company I worked with.
well. I'm not going to name names. I'm just saying.
Put them on blast.
I've
Boy. It's
I've
a company
seen
that's
I've
paying
seen
money
it
to-
I've seen and heard horror stories.
Put them on blast, fam.
Just
Problem is that there are so many anonymous Chinese bike manufacturers out there that I can't just put on blast one single one.
True. True.
So I'm just gonna blast them all at the same time. I'm telling you, if you want to go for a cheap bike, go with a trusted brand like Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, because at least they've been doing this for decades. They have their shit straight.
You know what's a bike I want?
Sportster 883.
Well, no shit, but it's
Oh no,
actually-
the Iron 883.
Yeah, the Iron. Actually, I want the super low because it has a bigger tank. But
yeah.
it's an older bike. It's a 3-cylinder 2-stroke. I forget who made it, but it sounds mean. I think it's an 800cc 2-stroke 3-cylinder, like old school sport bike.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sounds like it wants to rip your dick off and fly. Like, I've seen videos of it on YouTube, and it's just such a beautiful fucking bike. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is our 5th episode, which means...
Yep.
Oh, snap. What does it mean?
It means we can start taking guests.
You're
Yes.
absolutely right.
Yes.
How'd you
take
not
a guess.
realize this?
Well, I did. I just wanted to hear you say it. That's
You
why I
want
was
to hear
doing
my beautiful voice being like, we're going to now
Yes.
let guests on, everyone who's out there listening.
Yes,
Hopefully
and
by
we
the
do
next-
have people that have applied to be a guest. So if you are interested in being a guest and you feel like you have some interesting things to share with the rest of the furry community,
that. Interesting.
do feel free to apply to be a guest,
Or
and
just get in
we'll look over
contact
it.
with us in general, Say hello at least. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have formalities. We want to be
no one
respectful.
cares about that bureaucratic crap. Just come and say hello.
But yeah, no, if you would love to be on the show, by all means, please give us a shout on Twitter or
Yep.
YouTube. Let us know, and we'll definitely consider putting you on.
Yep.
As long as you're not like weird or anything, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want you weirdos on our fucking show.
Of course, this is a furry fandom, and weird is pretty much everybody in it. So I guess that's kind
As
of
long
tongue in
as you're
cheek.
not like, I don't know, like fucking like babies or something.
Oh, okay. Don't go there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
No, because you're gonna offend somebody.
Oh please, it's the internet. I can breathe and offend someone.
Oh my god.
You know it's true.
No comment from me.
I'm surprised we haven't already had people scream at us that we're nothing but the patriarchy.
Just roll up in your Harley and just flex on them. Just give them a nice, just roll your throttle at them. Just give
I
them a
will
nice
them a handful of
hearty
this ass.
growl. What?
Do you say a growl?
What?
Yeah.
You growl at people?
No, I mean in a Harley.
Why do
Oh.
you growl at people, Lifty?
Stop.
That's weird. Don't growl at people.
Yeah,
No.
why do you do that?
That,
Well, why can't you be like sharks and just be quiet?
Don't growl
See,
at
we don't talk.
fuck?
We just eat you.
That's weird.
You're
Don't
weird.
growl at people. God.
I am a
So,
triggered boy right now.
who's ready to diss on that foot fetish?
Hey, let's don't. No.
Oh yeah.
Silox, I blame you for
Weird
that
fetish.
foot guy to
Wow.
find us and follow us on Twitter.
Look, at least you got an extra follower on Twitter. Okay, that's
He's going to
all
be
that
severely disappointed because we are not going to share or repost any of that foot fetish crap.
Yeah.
matters.
yeah.
I mean, I
fuck
will,
No.
but you all won't.
We're not
Weird.
reposting that on the Furry Frequencies Twitter.
Okay, I don't know if you guys know this. If you go and see Silox's fucking like for like FA or anything like that shit's
My-
fucking weird.
Okay, first of all, my FA is not weird.
You're
It's
fucking
macro.
planes and ships, my dude.
That's called macro. Okay, that's what macro. Well,
You're
some
stepping on
macro is.
people.
That's
You
what
fucked an
macro is.
orphanage.
I have never done that. Well, yeah, I've never done that.
You had to think about that, which is what fucking disturbs me even more. You're like, hold on, did I fucking orphanage yet? Nope. Let me put that on the bucket
That is
list.
tame compared to some of the other stuff out there.
Let me share my fucking seed with these fucking orphans.
Oh my god.
What?
Bro, I can't right now. I can't. But yeah, no,
like-
at
Oh,
least you got a follower, so that's good.
Speaking of the Twitter, we also are going to be doing something weird and irreverent with the Twitter account. We're also going to start offering airline reviews because it is the start of the furry travel season, and furries will want to know what is the best way to get from point A to point B in the fewest amount of time with the fewest amount of dollars. So we're now offering as a public service.
He's going to shill for Delta. I'm telling you all right now.
Delta is
It's-
probably
no.
the best airline I've ever been on.
What is?
Delta.
Yeah, Delta
Okay.
has really stepped up the game.
You misspelled United, but that's okay.
No. United is
beat up
already
a Chinese man who refused to give up a seat.
okay. You want me to
He's not
give you?
Chinese. He's American.
No. Hear me out here. United is already starting on a very bad foot. Okay, so I booked a flight on United to go to Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, some way, shape, or form, they had the lowest price. I don't know why or how, because Minneapolis is not their hub. Neither is Baltimore. But those two cities, between those two cities, United is flying for the cheapest rate. But I take that back. I'm flying basic economy on United. And that means on United, you don't get a carry-on. They will charge you to put that carry-on on board. No other airline does that except Spirit and Frontier and Allegiant. All those shitty airlines.
Those are called ultra low cost carriers. That's why they do that.
United
talk
is
about
not
WOW
one of
Airlines?
them. United is not
I
an
know.
ultra low cost carrier.
But United likes to make money. That's how a business operates. They like to
United
make money.
United is not
Yes.
a low cost
It's
carrier.
a legacy, and legacies still have to make money. That's one of the ways they make money.
American allows one carry-on bag. Delta allows one carry-on bag.
I was allowed to.
Because you're special, that's why.
Well, you're allowed a carry-on bag and a personal item.
Well,
On
it could also be
United
the fact
and
that I
Delta.
banged the attendee. So
Okay, don't. Okay.
Oh, come on.
yeah, that mile high.
But yeah,
bitch.
United is really racing to the bottom if this is how they're going to do basic economy.
So yeah, basic economy is like this new in thing for all the legacy airlines now.
Yeah.
It's just a way for them to, make extra money, and I really hate it. It's really stupid.
But is it
and
working?
It is.
It is.
If it's
Just-
working, it's not stupid.
Nah, it is not stupid. It is like you said, Silox, it is a way for airlines to make more money. And
Okay,
it's working. And it also keeps the legacy airlines competitive against ultra low cost carriers.
And Southwest. Yeah.
But when you take away what your competitors are offering for free, that doesn't give you a competitive advantage in this crowded airline market. That's where I think I'm already starting on a bad foot with United. And not only that, if you have to call their customer service hotline for whatever reason, God help you, you will get the worst jazz chords blasted in your ear for at least half a fucking hour before you hear a human being.
I should be honest.
And then they
I
put you
do
on hold
own-
again.
I do own stock in United, so I'm a bit
Oh,
biased.
I
Yes,
see.
I
Oh,
have
I
a
see.
stake.
Okay.
So
So
you're
you
paid
did
by
not
the-
so you did not disclose that prior to actually giving them a glowing review.
I did not. No. I have a
You
Good
mistake.
fucking job.
You know what else is great?
What?
Applebee's. Applebee's is the best
No.
restaurant ever.
No.
Do you own stock in them too?
I can't comment on that. What I
Oh
will
my
say is
God.
You better comment on that
He
before you give them a
does.
glowing
He
review.
does own stock in it.
You keep on shilling for Applebee's all the fucking time.
Oh,
'Cause I love
Lifty, you're not that
Applebee's.
much better. You shill for Arlington.
Because Arlington is the way, the truth, and the life, damn it.
I don't know
See,
about
why
that.
can't you be
It
like
is the
me?
greatest county
Wow.
in Virginia.
Whoa,
Bar none.
Whoa. You misspelled Fairfax County. Don't be saying
No!
like that.
I live in Fairfax County right now, and I'm telling you, I ain't loving it. Fuck you. Fuck Fairfax County.
Oh god. You're gonna.
Fuck all their traffic.
You just dissed
Fuck everything.
everyone there.
He is mad. He is mad.
I am a triggered boy.
You are.
If you
Oh,
guys want
boy.
to talk about an airline, let's talk about WoW Airlines.
Oh yeah, let's talk about
Oh,
WoW Airlines
definitely.
because they just suddenly went out of business on March 28th, leaving thousands of travelers stranded.
And then they
And-
were like, "Hey, you're gonna have to seek emergency revenue flights from other companies. Good luck. Have a good one. We're going home."
Oh no, I actually read an article from the BBC in which WoW Air, they delayed this flight out of Detroit to go to Dublin. And the gate crew, they offered a pizza to the passengers that were waiting for WoW Air to start boarding before they suddenly, at 7 o'clock, the morning of March 28th, they suddenly heard the announcement that their flight was canceled. And actually all the flights were canceled and they went out of business. I'm like, how do you get a free pizza? And you suddenly, the fucking flight is, no, the flight is not happening.
That is
Pizza.
crazy.
Everyone
is
else
terrible.
So lucky over in Europe. Many people are just straight up just said, good luck. You're gonna have to find emergency fares with other companies. They
So-
literally were just like, yeah, we're going home. Have a good one. Talk to everyone
Well,
else.
actually, rescue fares are a form of goodwill amongst airlines. Airlines
How can you
don't.
have goodwill against an airline that no longer
No.
exists?
Hear me out. The airline industry, the international airline industry, doesn't like to make money off the closure of an airline, the sudden closure, because everybody's suddenly stranded, and some of these people just want to go home. And we've seen what happens when airlines suddenly shut down. People are stranded. There's pandemonium everywhere at the airports. People
Shit ton
just
of
want to
displaced
get
people.
home. People want their money back, et cetera, et cetera.
Did they ever
So-
get the money back?
Well, there are two ways of getting your money back, and
Or
that
did they
is,
have to pay more to get home?
yeah, a lot of passengers, they actually had to pay more to get back home. Some of them had to actually pay twice what they paid from WoW Air, which was a shame. The story that I mentioned
And what
from the
was
BBC.
that about not wanting to take money from stranded
Now,
people?
hold on a minute. Let me explain. With the case with the guy from Detroit that wanted to fly to Dublin, Detroit and Dublin are not hubs of WoW Air, nor is Dublin like the home of the person that's flying. Their home is actually in Indiana. So they kind of got screwed here because they wanted to go to Dublin to start their vacation, and suddenly, they're still stuck in the States and they're not going anywhere. So they actually did not get any remorse from Aer Lingus to take them to Dublin because, according to Aer Lingus, well, you're already home. You don't need to go home. You don't need to go anywhere. It's a very complex situation, and it's a very sad situation too. But when shit
So
like
if
that
you're already
happens,
home, it's like, well, too fucking bad.
yeah, pretty much,
And
unfortunately.
the worst part is
And they
he
don't
got
get their
left
money
in
back at
Detroit.
all.
That's the worst part.
Well, like I said, more than likely these people will go through their credit card issuer and demand a chargeback from there, and they can get a chargeback.
What about those people that paid in cash?
Ooh.
Or there's
Yeah,
people
Well,
that
if
don't
you went
pay
through
with
if you
credit
went through a
cards.
travel agent and you paid in cash via travel agent, then you'll get your money back.
But what pisses me off is basically WoW Air just said fuck it, we're gone, and I haven't heard of them paying back anyone. Like
And you
I
know what's even
really,
more
really
shocking?
feel like there's gonna be like a class suit or some shit like that.
Well,
Oh well, they won't get any money out of that.
yeah,
I mean,
Um,
the whole airline is insolvent,
yeah.
so there's no
Legally,
entity to
they
there's no
can't.
entity to sue.
Yeah, legally, they're not required to pay anybody back. Who are they going to sue? The former CEO? He's
No.
not liable for this. So there's really nothing they can do at this point. They're
which is shitty.
screwed. Yeah.
And what's even more shocking is that I think I read a story that a month prior, WoW Air was actually awarded an award in Iceland for being the like one of the best startups in Iceland, and now they're like reeling. They're really rethinking about why did we give this award to them, and they just shut down.
Yeah. No,
The,
they've been in
so they just
financial
want their
issues for
award. They got their
years,
award. They're like,
actually.
fuck it,
Not
I'm
years,
out.
but a few years. But
Yeah.
because if I recall, I think it was Iceland Air. I think it's the flag carrier of Iceland. I don't know if it's Iceland
Yeah.
Air or Air
Hmm.
Iceland.
Yeah.
But
Iceland there.
yeah, they've been trying to acquire WoW Air for quite some time now because WoW Air has been in fiscal straits for a couple of years now.
Hmm.
And there were plans on the table, but they all kept falling through.
Yeah.
And I believe there was a plan. I want to say a couple of hours before they ceased operations, but the CEO didn't budge, and you saw what happened. You end up with an
Yeah.
airline that ceases operations.
What's shocking is that WoW Air, they saw the writing on the wall and they continued to sell tickets up until the very moment they decided to close all operations. And that is shitty of them. If they knew what was happening, if they knew that the ship is sinking, they should have not sold tickets up until the very moment that they had to make that announcement. They should
Literally,
have.
that means someone bought their tickets and then immediately got a message that it was canceled. And they
Yeah,
didn't
that
get the money.
somebody, some unlucky sap bought a ticket at 6:59:59, and at 7 o'clock, the whole airline just completely shut down. They took their money and ran. That is just sad.
How much you
So-
want to bet that when they just took the money and ran, they weren't really actually in debt? They just said, "Fuck it, we're taking the money and leaving."
Oh no, they were in debt.
They were in heavy.
They were severely in debt.
Yeah. No, it was.
I just
documented
want to
they were
imagine
heavily
like
in
there's
debt.
this whole scandal shit going on, just so we can be like, "We told you so. We foretold it."
Yeah. I remember back when I was reading articles about Primera Air closing last year, and they closed suddenly while planes were still up in the air. And I was reading the article, and I saw this ad for Primera Air flying out of Dulles. And I'm like, wow, this is what the hell?
So like, if you're in the air already and you just suddenly close down, what do you do?
I
You
was
just-
just about to ask that question.
Well, you are still allowed to touch down and offload your passengers, but you have to ground your aircraft afterward. You have to take your aircraft off the premises. You have to basically park it in the airport where it stands, because it just, you can't leave it on the jet bridge. You can't leave it on the tarmac like that. You will incur landing fees and gate charges until you move it off the jetway. So they're kind of screwed. They have to pay back all these airports that their aircraft are still in, and they have to pay to move them off onto some other site.
I like to
Yeah, it's
imagine,
very,
like,
very
they're in
costly.
midair and just suddenly the captain's like, "Oh, sorry, we're no longer in operation. We're just gonna go land to somewhere random." That's really.
Well,
cool.
no, they are
Decent
allowed.
in the
They are
middle of the
allowed. They are required by law to continue to their final destination. But after that, they have to park the plane someplace until they can pay to move it to some other location.
So, like, imagine if you're in the air, right? And the captain's like, man, you guys are some lucky assholes. Since we're already in the air, we're no longer in operation, so we're just a free-flying aircraft right now. We're going to just, Yeah.
No, I'd be, if I was that captain that was in the air as soon as the announcement was made, I'd just go up on the intercom and say, well, ladies and gentlemen, I am now unemployed. Fuck everything.
Yeah, because he
Give
is
away
no
food
longer
for free.
unemployed.
Because it's like it doesn't even fucking matter.
Give away.
Like,
What's the FAA going to do?
Free, so.
Like, I can imagine him be
Go
like,
for
all
it.
right, fuck nuggets, we're just going to go right to the fucking tarmac, and he just fucking nosedives.
Oh, God, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be very
So,
fun. Like, he
speaking-
pulls up, like, last second, just like,
No,
air drifts.
no.
That's how the max. No, don't do that.
That's how the Ethiopian.
Yeah.
No, stop.
That's too soon.
That's terrible.
You guys have to bring sad shit into this. I'm just trying to make a joke.
Because that's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
Making jokes. Stop being sad.
So,
God damn.
so speaking of airlines,
Yeah.
what's your favorite airport?
Oh, well,
If you,
I've been to quite a few airports.
Yeah.
Johnny.
So you mean like the most as in like it's fucked me over the least, or
Oh, I have a story for that. Whatever. Which one's your favorite? Like, which one do you usually travel out of? Which one did you enjoy visiting?
it's
You know,
definitely an
whatever.
international airport.
yeah.
Because international airports have like those smoking areas, like the little fucking smoking booths,
Mhm.
which are cool as fuck. And I get to go in there because like there's no kids. I don't have to deal with the little kids fucking running around everywhere, just being like, look, it's an American. Let's fucking point, fucking, I don't know, or fucking dildos at them.
I'm going to say Reagan National is going to be my favorite.
Thank you
Just
for saying.
tossing it out there. What?
So thank you for saying the actual name of it.
Yeah, Reagan National Airport.
Yes.
I think the best airport I've ever been to was. It was this European one. I think it was in
Frankfurt?
the Netherlands. What the fuck's it called?
Oh, Amsterdam
Amsterdam.
Schiphol.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Amsterdam. That was probably the
Yeah.
best one I've been to.
That one looks really fucking cool.
It's
I really
real
want to go to
nice.
that one.
Yeah.
I really
It's
wanna go
definitely the
there.
best one. I only went through it through a transfer, but what I went through was fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
So
it was
Mhm.
definitely great.
for me, God, I don't want to be basic and say this, but for me, London's Heathrow Airport definitely is probably
Okay.
the best one.
I've
Um,
never been there.
But I will say Tokyo's Haneda is definitely almost neck and neck with it. Yes.
See, I'm so jealous. All of you are just, you're just naming off like airports I've never been to.
I mean,
like
it's an
the only-
airport. I
the-
wouldn't make it my tourist destination.
The only international airport out of I've been outside of the United States is Tocumen International in Panama City.
Okay.
That's the only one, and that was back in 2003, and I'm pretty sure they've changed everything about it since then. So I wouldn't back then if I have to remember what it was like in 2003 is not really an airport that I would fondly remember.
You should
Yeah.
go traveling more then.
You should.
Yeah, I definitely should. But I really enjoyed traveling domestically as well, and
One
Try-
thing I
flying
like about
domestically
the
is very
flights
airports. There's some
is
nice
the unlimited booze I can get.
now I will say this. While I did say that Reagan National is my favorite airport, my least favorite airport,
airports. Don't say it.
Dulles.
Okay. Thought you were gonna say
Fucking
BW.
Dulles. Fucking Dulles is a nightmare
And
to go
Dulles
through.
Is like, it's old. It's really old. They need to
No,
clean it
no.
up.
I mean, the security line is a clusterfuck.
I know because it's old. They need to update it badly.
No,
That's
you're
why it's
going
like that.
downstairs. You're going downstairs into the basement. and you're just
Boy,
being corralled
I
into
just
4
said
different
that.
lines.
I know they need to fix that. Yes.
There's no way to fix it. You have to completely just tear down the building, and then they'll say,
No, really?
"No, no, it's too aesthetic. Don't do that." And I'm like, "Fuck you."
Now, to be fair, that is one of the most iconic terminal buildings
Yes,
in the United States, next
yes,
to the one at JFK. That is
yes,
very iconic. So I would
yes.
hope they don't tear that down.
I
But
think the
it's a
worst
very old
airport
airport.
I've been to was this small little single tarmac, single building airport in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Romania.
Oh God.
And we landed a fucking what was it, a C-130 on that motherfucker.
Damn, that's a big plane.
Oh, here's the even funnier part. My plane made it. The other plane didn't.
What?
Oh.
No shit. One of the engines just straight shut down in the middle of the way on the way
Oh my
over
God.
to Romania. The second plane with Chalk 2 in it.
Yeah.
That shit had an emergency land dead in the middle of bumfuck nowhere of Turkey.
Ooh.
And it was the funniest fucking thing hearing about that.
Yeah.
But I would never recommend military planes to anyone, not even my worst enemy.
Well, they're not.
It's so bad,
Okay.
even the pilots are like, yeah, we don't want to fly this.
That's
You know
terrible.
what's bad when the pilots are like praying that they land?
Yeah. Oh God.
Like, you know how fucking disconcerting that is? When
That
you're
is
just
terrible.
sitting there in your seat strapped in and you just see the fucking pilots praying.
Oh,
Like,
my
oh,
God,
please,
what?
God, don't let my fucking engine explode while I'm fucking flying.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You're making
That
me
is
not
horrible.
want to fly. What the fuck?
Yeah, military planes are not good at all. I would not even wish that shit on anyone. Granted, they're free, but
Well, I'm not
Hmm.
flying to MFF now. I don't know about you all, but
No,
yeah, it's
no.
free, but you have the chance of
I'm
crashing in the middle of the
joking.
fucking ocean.
I'm joking.
I have actually a good story about flying into O'Hare that I never knew about. If
didn't
we're
know
ready
about it,
to
how can you
share.
tell it?
Yeah. So, a few weeks ago, I flew down to Central Illinois to visit a very good friend of mine and spend spring break visiting him. And then on my flight back, I took a very small Embraer jet from Peoria to Chicago O'Hare. And one thing that was really, really uncomfortable about this flight was as we were nearing Chicago, I could see out the window that we were passing over Chicago. We were passing by the suburbs, then we're passing by the hood, and then we're passing by all these high rises, and then all you see at the bottom is the lake. And I'm like, excuse me, pilot, O'Hare is that way. Why are we flying over water? Why aren't we turning around? Did we miss turn in Albuquerque or something? What the hell's going on here? I was freaking out because I'm like, we are flying over water. We are missing our destination considerably. What the hell is going on here? And then the pilot just decides to yank the shit out of that plane, out of that tiny ass plane, over the water and down over the suburbs of Chicago. And there is so much choppy air over Chicago. Oh my God, the fucking plane was just bobbing up and down, left and right, side to side, back in time. Oh my God, I felt like if that continued all through our landing, our descent into O'Hare, I would have puked.
I was
But-
even thinking that you would shit yourself.
Oh, I
my
almost.
God.
Oh, I felt like it. I felt like shitting myself on that plane.
Oh man, I'm very verbal when I'm on planes because I've never flown on a plane sober. Ever.
Yeah.
I always drink a shit ton when I get on the plane.
See, this is why you should definitely consider flying Delta Shuttle from Arlington to
Oh, boy.
Chicago
Here we go.
because not only do you get a small jet that which has very exclusive service, you also get free drinks, and that includes free alcoholic drinks
I'm a vet.
throughout
I
your
get
entire
free drinks
flight.
already as is.
Oh, because you're a veteran?
Yeah.
But imagine a flight where you don't have to show your card to get free drinks. You just ask. That's Delta Shuttle.
But that's just expensive.
No, Delta Shuttle's not expensive. Delta Shuttle can be very affordable if you time it just right.
I think any plane really is affordable if you don't buy it last second, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
And this is
there are some where
We
I
don't
know.
talk about them.
And this is where I would like to plug for our newest little app that I just found. It's called Hopper. And Hopper lets you search for flights that you're about to take. And consider if the flight is like several months out, it's really easy to put it into Hopper and let them watch the fares for you so that when the fares drop dramatically, Hopper will tell you to buy at that point. And so you don't spend your money, buying a ticket at the wrong time.
I've never heard of this app.
Yeah, it just came out on the App Store or wherever. So it is very, very new. But
Talk
yeah,
to me
just
about
search
this
for.
later.
Yeah, I will definitely provide links and more details about Hopper,
Hopper,
on
would
our
you like
Twitter.
to sponsor us? It would be very nice.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, but I'm
Talk
pretty sure they
great
don't have
things
the money
about
for that.
you and whisper sweet nothingness.
I mean, I'm already whispering sweet nothings to them right now.
We would do
They
even
should
more than that.
sponsor us.
Would strip for
Yeah.
them.
I'm not stripping. I'm not.
Why not?
I'm not showing my splotchy ass for Hopper.
Why not?
Remember, everyone, if you
No.
see Lifty at these cons or anything, even in the
Stop.
middle of public,
No,
go up to him without
No.
announcing yourself and say, "Show me your ass."
no, stop it.
And make sure the shade
Stop
and the
that.
most shady and rapey voice you can think of, like "Show me your ass."
No.
boy."
Hey there.
No,
Hey, hot stuff. Wanna show me your ass?
stop.
Lifty will enjoy that greatly. He will do it for free.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He will too.
No. No.
All
I will pay
right.
Okay.
$50
It has been an absolutely wonderful episode.
Yes,
Got it.
it has been a great episode.
Yes,
It has been a wonderful episode to talk with you, the listeners, about bikes, Post Malone, Texas Furry Fiesta, airlines, airports, whatever. And we'd love to have you back on our audience again next week. If you like what you're hearing, please feel free to follow us on Twitter at Furry Frequency. And follow us on YouTube. We will have our link to our YouTube channel up soon. And subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get our newest episodes
Whenever they come out.
whenever they come out.
Also, if you'd like to guest, feel free to contact any of us.
Yes,
Please.
we
We
will
also
be.
have a forum on Twitter if you don't want to talk to our ugly faces before the podcast.
I would say go ahead and fill out the form
Oh,
anyway.
man.
That gives us background
Yes.
Yeah, but don't be
so that
afraid
we
to come up
know
and talk
what
to
you're
us.
about.
We don't bite that much.
Yeah.
Well, we need that background anyway so that we can introduce you properly.
Well, except for Silox, he might do something with your feet.
Okay. That is no comment.
Oh boy, here we go with the feet.
Don't. You know what? Feet are great. Do not diss feet. Okay. Well, male feet are great, but don't diss feet. All right.
Anyway, from all of us, this is Lifty,
Sharky.
Delete that. This is Silox.
and we are Furry Frequencies signing off. You have a wonderful evening. Thank you, and join us again next week.
Bye.